Topic here is going to be the Patriot Act and the internet. This assumes that we have already looked at text from the Patriot Act, which you can find on the site. I believe it's in this particular file here. Anyway, the Patriot Act, we have some understanding. The question here is, does a nation have a right to defend itself? So we already know that the United States was attacked after 9/11, so the United States government seems to be going through some measures to protect. And how do they go about doing this? We see Homeland Security. We see the Patriot Act. We could also see a situation where, the TSA that starts to control airports. All of these things are used in response to, or created in response to the 9/11 attacks. So just think about that particular question. Does the nation have the right to defend itself? That seems to be the question here to justify, that particular, those decisions. So if we're not aware of the Snowden case, you might want to take a look at Snowden, where he, was able to report about all of the information that the United States government was collecting. And looking at this particular situation here, looking at this graphic, here we see information trying to go from here to these individuals, yet some of that information is being funneled into the NSA. And that is going to be a way to extract information. So let's just say you're sending, an email, and you made a joke about Al-Qaeda. Maybe Al-Qaeda registers, and then it automatically gets sent here. And now they know who you are. This guy is you. And you were trying to send it to this person over here. And now they know. And at that particular point, a flag is going to go up. And the question here is whether or not the government should be allowed to do that, or if safety is the bigger concern. They could also start looking at you and all of your possible contacts. So the significance of this particular image here is, let's just say the flag goes up and now they are watching you. They are possibly also watching all of your contacts as well. And so these are some of the changes that occur as a result of the 9/11 attacks, for good or bad. This story had come out some time ago. Don't exactly remember the year. This is 2016, and it is about the app Telegram. I don't know much about Telegram other than when this story first broke. What it seemed to be, though, is that when you were sending a message from one cell phone to the other, it was encrypted in a way where it was not stored on any type of server in the cloud, nothing like you actually needed to have the physical phone. Like you couldn't do anything. So if you were sending information about Al-Qaeda and somehow the government was aware of the transmission, maybe they were investigating you because they wouldn't have any awareness of that particular message. What they would need to do in order to get access to that, the encryption, to decode it, to figure out what you're typing, they would physically need this particular phone. I don't know. Let's just say that this individual is in a cafe and he's having a conversation and he's very open about his decision to commit terrorist attacks. And there's two FBI agents right here listening, and they know that he is using his phone and he is sending a message. So now they have information that this guy is doing something based on his conversation. They would actually need to figure out a way to get into this phone, even if they know the person on the receiving end. Like, you have to actually get into the phone. And so Telegram, that's what this allowed you to do. It allowed you to communicate from one phone to the other, but in a way where none of this stuff was going to be stored in a way that the government can funnel it out. So if you were trying to send the message again from here to here, this wouldn't take place. But if they were aware, they would actually have to get your phone and get into that phone in order to determine that particular message. Then there was a story of 2015. Terrorists started to use the PlayStation Network. So in this situation here, if you're feeling uncomfortable about the Patriot Act and you want to make sure that your terrorist ideas are hidden, what people started to do was just play a video game. I'd say, okay, meet me in the Grand Theft Auto lobby, and I'm gonna play on my PlayStation, and you play on yours. And in that game lobby, as we're playing our video game, we are talking about our plan to bomb the Trade Center area. Once it's done, we're gonna bomb the Pentagon. And so the question here is, does Sony have an obligation to monitor in these lobbies what people are saying? You could think about how complicated that this is going to, like if the government's going to pass any sort of law, any sort of requirement that says, okay, Sony, you have people that are playing these games. How many games are being played? I have no idea. But this line represents all of the people playing games at any given time. And it is up to you to monitor. Now, keep in mind, they're not texting. You're not playing a game and texting. You're playing a game and talking over the headset. But now you're saying Sony has an obligation to monitor that. I don't know how Sony goes about doing that. What we do know is that when this story broke, the issue here was that terrorists might be using PlayStation Network as a way to communicate. Joystick jihad. That's pretty good. That's terrible. So that's kind of what's being addressed here. And that's it. Just a little bit on the Patriot Act, some of the cyber stuff that occurred post 9/11, and you know, is it good or bad? I mean, you think about that particular question. If you're going to say all of this spying is a good thing, you're probably saying that because you are concerned about your safety in another 9/11 attack. And if you're going to say it's bad, I don't know. I don't know where you stand on that issue. Anyway, that's for you to decide.